Before we begin this week's show, I want to give a huge shout out to Denise. Denise is a sister of the show who recently found us and contacted me this past week to share some feedback about how she's enjoying the show and how it's benefiting her, as well as to request prayers. Infinite thanks, blessings, and love, Denise, for reaching out. We are here for you. We love you dearly, and you are in our prayers. And all of you, stay tuned for prayers at the end of the show because Denise is in there as well. And let's please add her to your heart, thoughts, and prayers. And Denise, this show is dedicated to you. You stay strong, girl. Welcome to the Faith and More podcast. This is a trans-denominational podcast. All are welcome and safe here, no matter what your faith is or isn't. My name is Reverend Angel Wise, and I'll be your host. I am an ordained licensed minister with the Fellowship of Celtic Catholic Churches International, founder and director of the Oblates Perpetual Light, a life coach, intuitive healer, and Kabbalist. I firmly believe that the divine works through people every day to help us. These angels and saints are so very humble, many of us don't know they exist or existed. Each week we'll explore the lives of these amazing beings. We will also explore topics that can help your faith, no matter what it is or isn't. The goal of this show is to inspire, encourage, educate, uplift, strengthen, and heal you and your faith, no matter what it is or isn't. So be sure to follow and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to the show, everyone. How are you all doing? I so hope and pray you all are well and blessed. Infinite thanks, blessings, and love for tuning in. If you're new, welcome. We are so happy to have you here. You are more than welcome and more than safe here, no matter what your faith is or isn't. It is my deepest hope and sincerest prayer that you find everything you're looking for in a podcast, especially a faith-based podcast here and more. And if you're returning, you all know the drill. I can't thank you all enough for all of your support and love and for being such a loyal listener and member of the Faith and More family. You all are the reason why this show is here. So last week we talked about the demons and the angels. We talked about that, right? So this week we're going to talk about the 72 angels.
Say what?
What do you mean, say what? You have potatoes in your ears or something? Sorry, folks. I had to do the old Jewish rabbi, and I figured out a name for him. How about Rabbi Pep Pep? And Pep Pep is what Canadians refer to as Grandpa. So that was Rabbi Pep Pep. Anyway, yeah, 72 angels we talked about a little bit last week, and we're going to be talking about it a lot more in this episode. As a matter of fact, this episode is the 72 angels. And it's not just, let's not go down the road that, oh, so there's only 72 angels. No. They're infinite, infinite as in Adonai, Ein Sof, the universe, the creator is infinite. So therefore they are creations of the infinite, which makes them infinite as well. There's too many for our little human beings, which is our mind, our brains, to count. So we're going to cover 72 of them today. And yes, I'm going to try to go through their names. And please, everyone, forgive me, especially if you are someone of the Jewish or Hebrew faith and know Hebrew. I know I'm already going to slaughter these. I'm going to mispronounce these names. So anyway, please forgive me. I will run through the list and I will go back to the list and give you guys some information on how you can call upon these angels. Those of you who are in the nature faiths, and even some Christians would refer to them as being invoked. Calling upon is just another name for invoke. So calling upon them for help. And you do this by saying, reciting, praying a psalm from the Bible. Really easy to do, and it's just a little excerpt for each one. Really, it is. It's you'll see as we go. And this grouping, I've got a free PDF online from online that you guys can download absolutely free, absolutely safe to your phone, tablet, or whatever device you use, computer. And that way you can have a super detailed listing of not only these angels, but what their strengths are, ones that you pray to during the day, the ones that are ruling during the day. There's ones that rule at night. So yeah, there's there's a whole thing about this. And just to state it now, so it's nice and clear that nothing we're going to be sharing or covering today goes against your faith in any way, shape, and or form. None of this is heretical. And if someone's telling you it is, they need to study some more. They're not hitting the mark, as we say. So the descriptions of the angels I'm going to be sharing are originally from the book of Papus, Papus, which is the Kabbalah Secret Tradition of the West, from a book in 1892, which in turn was derived from the descriptions from the work of Lazar Linnaean, who lived from 1793 to 1877, who published a book called La Science Kabbalistique in 1823. As Linnaean's text was and still is only available in French, the English translation of Papus's work is commonly used in English language texts, as these descriptions have appeared in numerous books. So angel number one is Vahuya, and their invocation is Psalms 3:3. And they represent great wisdom, enthusiastic for science and the arts, capable of undertaking and accomplishing difficult things. Okay, next we have Jalil, and their invocation is Psalms 22:19. You guys don't have to worry about writing this down, but it'd be good if you want to make a note of the time that you hear me say what you're interested in. That way you can go back and get the information. So Psalms 22:19 for Jalil, and that is the angel to quell popular uprisings, to obtain victory over those who attack unjustly. Sprightly spirits, agreeable and courteous manners, passionate about sex. Satiel is the angel. Psalms 91:2 is their invocation. They are against adversities. They protect against weapons and wild beasts. They love truth, will keep his word, will oblige those in need of their services. Limia, Psalms 6:4, they are against mental troubles and for the identification of traitors. They govern voyages, sea travels, industrious. They're successful, keen for travel. Mahasya or Mahasaya, Psalms 34:4, to live in peace with everyone, governs science, occult, philosophy, theology, the liberal arts, learns easily, keen for honest pleasures. Lahail, Psalms 9:11, to acquire knowledge and cure disease, governs love, renown, science, arts, and fortune. Features include ambition and fame. Achaya, Psalms 103:8, governs patience, secrets of nature, loves learning, proud to accomplish the most difficult task. Next is Kahito, Psalms 95:6, to obtain the benediction of the Creator and drive away evil spirits, governs agricultural production. Haziel, Psalms 25:6, the mercy of the Creator, friendship and favor of the great execution of promises made, governs good faith and reconciliation. Sincere in promises will easily extend pardon. Aladiah, Psalms 33:22, good for those guilty of hidden crimes and fearing discovery, governs rage and pestilence, cures diseases, is for good health, success in their undertaking. La Via, Psalms 18:46, against lightning and for the attainment of victory, governs renown, great personage, learned, celebrated for personal talents. Next, number 12, Hahaya, Psalms 110:1, against adversity. It governs dreams. Mysteries are hidden from mortals. Gentle, witty, discreet manners. Lazael, Psalm 98:4, governs friendship, reconciliation, conjugal fidelity. Learns easily. Add druids. Mahail, Psalms 9:9, against those who seek to usurp the fortunes of others, governs justice, truth, liberty, delivers the oppressed and protects prisoners, loves jurisprudence, affinity for law and courts. Hariel, Psalms 94:22, against the impious, governs sciences and arts, religious sentiments, morally pure. Hakamaya, or Mia, Psalms 88:1, against traitors and for deliverance from those who seek to oppress us. Govern crowned heads, great captains, gives victory. Frank, loyal, brave, character sensitive to points of honor and affinity for Venus. Lavia, Psalms 8:9, to be invoked while fasting, against mental anguish, sadness, governs high sciences. Marvelous discoveries, gives revelations and dreams, loves music, poetry, literature, and philosophy. Kalil, Psalms 35:24, to obtain prompt aid, makes truth known in lawsuits, causes innocence to triumph, just, honest, loves truth, and judiciary. Leviah, Psalms 41, 40.1, to obtain the grace of God, governs memory, human intelligence, amiable, lively, modest, bearing of adversity with resignation. Pahaliel, Psalms 120, 1 through 2. So that's 120, pause, 1 through 2. Against enemies of religion, governs religion, theology, morality, chastity, purity. Melchiel, Psalms 31, 14. Against spells and for the destruction of evil spirits, governs astronomy, mathematics, geography, and all abstract sciences, loves poetry, literature, avid for study. It almost sounds like I'm going through like a dating app or a dating list, like Melchiel loves poetry, literature, and an avid studier. Oh my God. Leiel, Psalms 121, 5, governs fortune, renown, diplomacy, commerce, influences on voyages, discoveries, protection against storms, and shipwreck. Loves business. Melahel, there we go. Psalms 121, 8, against weapons for safety and travel, governs water, produce of the earth, and especially plants necessary for cure of diseases. Courageous, accomplishes honorable actions. Hananiah, Psalms 33:18, to obtain the grace of and mercy of the Creator, governs exiles, fugitives, defaulters, protects against harmful animals, preserves from thieves and assassins, loves truth, the exact sciences, sincere in word and deed. Nelai Ha, Psalms 9:1, for the acquisition of wisdom and the discovery of truth of hidden mysteries, governs occult sciences, gives revelations in dreams. Ha-ayah, Psalms 119, 145, for the winning of a lawsuit, protects those who search for truth, influences politics, diplomats, secret expeditions, and agents. Lerathel, Psalms 140, pause, 1, to confound wrongdoers and liars and for deliverance from enemies, governs propagation of civilization, loves peace, justice, science, and arts, special affinity for literature, long walks on the beach. I added the long walks on the beach. Next is 28, Sihaya, Psalms 71, 12, against infirmities and thunder, protects against fire, the ruin of buildings, falls, and illnesses, governs health and simplicity. Riel, Psalms 54, 4, against the impious and enemies of religion, for deliverance from all enemies, both visible and invisible. Virtue and zeal for the propagation of truth will do his utmost to destroy impiety. Om Ael, Psalms 71, 5, against sorrow, despair, and for the acquisition of patience, governs the animal kingdom, watches over the generation of beings, chemists, doctors, surgeons, affinity for anatomy and medicine. So that would be a good one for healing, or if you're going in for surgery or something like that, that would be a good one. We'll have to make a note of Omael, Omael, and we'll do their psalm afterwards here. Next is 31, Lakael. Psalm 71, 16, for the acquisition of knowledge, governs vegetation and agriculture, loves astronomy, mathematics, and geometry. Okay. And 32, Yasariah, Psalms 33, 4, against those who attack us in court, governs justice, good memory, and articulate. Lehayah, Psalms 94, 11, for the identification of traitors. Laha, Psalms 131, 3, against anger, known for their talents and acts, the confidence and fervor of their prayers. Shabakayah, Psalms 116, 1, to regain the favor of those one has offended, governs testaments, successions, and all private financial agreements. So if you need like a loan or is looking for a loan, that would be a good one as well. Loves to live in peace with everyone, loves rewarding the loyalty of those in their service. Menadel, Psalms 26, 8, to retain employment and to preserve means of livelihood against calamity and for the deliverance of prisoners. Aniel, Psalms 80, 3, to obtain victory and stop the siege of a city, governs sciences and arts, reveals the secrets of nature, inspires philosophers. Hamaya, Psalms 91, 9, for the acquisition of all the treasures of heaven and earth against fraud, weapons, wild beasts, and infernal spirits. Rehael, Psalms 30, 10, for the healing of the sick, governs health and longevity, influences paternal and filial affection. Leazel, Psalms 88, 14, for the deliverance of prisoners, for consolation, for deliverance from one's enemies, governs printing and books. Hahael, Psalms 120, 2, against the impious slanderers, impious slanderers, greatness of soul and energy. Michael, Psalms 121, 7, for safety in travel, for the discovery of conspiracies concerned with political affairs and diplomatic. Ve'alayach, Psalms 88, 13, for the destruction of the enemy and deliverance from bondage, love, glory, and military. Hopefully not all in that order. Lel-Hayach, Psalms 119, 108. Success of a useful undertaking, protection against magistrates, trials, protects against armies, gives victory, fond of travel and learning. All their undertakings are crowned with success, distinguished for military capabilities and courage. Seliach, Psalms 94, 18, to confound the wicked and the proud, to exalt the humiliated and the fallen, governs vegetation, loves learning, much aptitude. Ariel, Psalms 145, 9, to procure revelations, to thank the Creator for the good they send us, discovers hidden treasures, reveals the greatest secrets of nature, causes the object of one's desire to be seen in dreams. strong, subtle mind, new and sublime thoughts, discreet, circumspect. Asa liha, Psalms 92, 5. For the praising of the Creator and the growing towards Him when He enlightens us, governs justice, makes the truth known in legal proceedings, agreeable character, avid for the acquisition of secret knowledge. Mihael, Psalms 98, 2. For the preservation of peace and the union of man and wife, protects those who address themselves to him, gives premonitions and secret inspirations, avid for love, fond of walks. I didn't make that up. And pleasure in general. So if you know of a married couple that needs some help with peace and union, or that's pretty much all couples need that. And also love walks. That would be Mahiel. It's your person to look for. Vahil or Vehuel, Psalms 145, 3. Sorrow, contrariness for the exaltation of oneself, for the benediction and glory of the Creator. Sensitive and generous soul, literature, jurisprudence, diplomacy. Daniel. Lord, it looks like Daniel. Must be the clouds in my eyes. Daniel, Psalms 145, 8. To obtain the mercy of the Creator and consolation. Governs justice, lawyers, solicitors. Furnishes conclusions to those who hesitate. Industrious and active in business. Loves literature and is distinguished for eloquence. Ha-ha-sia, Psalms 104, 31. For the elevation of the soul and discovery of the mysteries of wisdom. Governs chemistry and psychics. Physics. The other psychics, which are physics. Loves abstract science, devoted to the discovery of the properties of animals, plants, and minerals. Distinguished in medicine. 52. We're up to 52. Emma Miah, Psalm 7, 17. Destroys the power of enemies and humbles them. Governs voyages in general. Protects prisoners who turn to them and gives them the means of obtaining their freedom. Forceful, vigorous temperament. Bears adversity with patience and courage. Fond of work. Nanel, Psalms 119, 75, governs the high sciences, melancholy humor, avoids rest, meditation, well versed in the abstract sciences. Nilhael, Psalms 103, 19, to obtain the mercy of the Creator and live long, emperor, king, and prince, renowned for the writings and eloquence of great reputation among the learned. Mahayach, Psalms 102, 12, beneficial for obtaining consolation and compensation, governs morality and religion, distinguished by good deeds and piety. Hoel, Psalms 145, 14, for the fulfillment of requests, governs renown, fortune, and philosophy, well esteemed by everyone for their modesty and agreeable humor. Namamayah, Psalms 115, 11, for general prosperity and the deliverance of prisoners, governs great captains drawn to the military, distinguished for activity and the courageous bearing of fatigue. Lial, Psalms 6, 3, protects against sorrow and care and heals the sick, especially afflictions of the eyes. Influences iron and those in commerce, brave, frank, affinity for Venus. Hariel, Psalms 113, 3, against the sterility of women and to make children obedient to their parents. Governs treasure in banks, printing books, love of learning, successful in business. Mitzrael, Psalms 145, 17, for the cure of mental illness and deliverance from those who persecute us, virtuous in longevity. Hael, Psalms 113, 2, to obtain the friendship of a given person, fond of travel and honest pleasures, a sensitive heart. We're up to 62, folks. We're moving right along. Lahel, Psalms 119, 159. For the acquisition of wisdom governs philosophers, illuminati. Ooh. Loves tranquility and solitude, modest and virtuous. Ananel, Psalms 100, pause, 2. Protects against accidents, heals the sick, governs commerce, banking, subtle and ingenious, industrious and active. Meharil, Psalms 33, 18, against adversities, protects against rabies and wild beast, governs savants, professors, orators, and others distinguished in literature. Damabayah, Psalms 90, 13, against magic spells and the obtainment of wisdom and the undertaking of successful ventures, governs seas, rivers, springs, sailors, is also a sailor, amasses a considerable fortune. Monachel, Psalms 38:21, for the appeasement of the anger of the Creator, governs vegetation, aquatic animals, influences dreams, gentleness of character. Idle or Edel, Psalms 37:4, to obtain consolation in adversity and for the acquisition of wisdom, influences occult sciences, makes the truth known to those who call on them in their work, enlightened requirements of the Spirit of the Creator, fond of solitude, distinguished in high sciences. Han Ayah, Psalms 106, 1. For the preservation of health and the healing of the sick, governs agriculture and fecundity. You guys figure this one out. I haven't seen this word before. Fecundity. Don't call me illiterate. I'm from Kentucky, damn it. Fond of the countryside, hunting, gardens, and all that is related to agriculture. Rochelle, Psalm 16:5, to find lost or stolen objects and discover the person responsible, distinguished in the judiciary, morals, and customs of all peoples. Jabamiah, Genesis, wow, this is in the Psalm, Genesis 1:1, governs the generation of beings and phenomena of nature, protects those who wish to progress spiritually. Interesting. Distinguished by genius, one of the great lights of philosophy. Ooh, I like this one. Hael, Psalms 109:30, to confound the wicked and for deliverance from those who seek to oppress us, protects those who call upon him, influences fire, and is brave. Mum Ayah, which is number 72, Psalms 116:7, protects in mysterious operations, brings success in all things, governs chemistry, physics, and medicine, influences health and longevity. Okay, so that, my dear brothers and sisters, is the list of the 72 angels. Now, the PDF file that is attached, or you can find the link for in the show description. I've been looking that over more, and the spellings of the names is a little different, and some of the Psalms are different in the PDF than the one that I have from my course, and I found out why. The course that I took was Kabbalah, and of course, and it was all based on Hebrew, whereas the PDF that is attached is Roman Catholic, because each psalm is listed, and it's listed, the wordage is listed, or the verbiage is listed, and it's listed in Latin, which is always a key sign that you're dealing with Roman Catholicism when you're into Latin. And so that's what that is. And one's not better than the other. It's just, maybe the Roman Catholic one will click more with you. But if you want to do the Hebrew one, then you're more than welcome to go back through the 72 that I just went through, because I gave the Psalms for each one of those, and just look it up yourself in your favorite version of the Bible. Okay, so let's do a few of these. How about number 30? Omael, Omael, and that is Psalm 71:5. And Psalm 71:5 is, "For you, O Lord, are my hope, my trust, O Lord, from my youth." And you can use that to do the invocation of Amiel. And Amiel was against sorrow, despair, and for the acquisition, of patience, governs the animal kingdom, watches over the generation of beings, is a chemist for doctors, surgeons, and also affinity for anatomy and medicine. So say you're going to have a surgery or something like that, or you just need help with ailments and stuff that doctors can't quite figure out. Again, Omiel is be a great one to pray for intercession to help you. Okay, let's do another one. How about number 70, which was Jabamiah, which was Genesis 1:1, that governs the generation of beings and phenomena of nature, protects those who wish to progress spiritually, distinguished by genius, one of great lights of philosophy. So that's Genesis 1:1 for the invocation of Jebamiah. And it is, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That's it. See, these are so extremely simple, but yet so very powerful that it's just, I mean, it's worth trying, folks. Really, it is, especially those of you who are going through things and that you're just really at your wits' end. What do you have to lose? Give it a try. And if you feel like sharing how this has helped you, if it's helped you, please contact me and let me know. My contact information is at the end of this show and the end of every show. I would love to hear how these worked for you or didn't. And don't just write me after you've done it once. Try 40 days. And we'll get into the whole significance of 40 days as we continue this season 5. So, my dear brothers and sisters, there you have it, the 72 angels. And yes, I could go through more and share more of the invocations or the different psalms or verses, but you guys have better things to do than listen to me all day. So these are things that you all can easily look up. Again, I've provided the resource as far as the Roman Catholic version. I will see if I can find, because I can't distribute the information from the Kabbalah course that I took, but I will see if I can find something online, like another PDF, but this time, and that's more similar to the one that I read off to you all, and I will post that link as well if I find it. But I will keep the Roman Catholic version for those who may be genuinely interested in and really want to explore more of that. And that's awesome if you want to do it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's, as they say. So to sum up the past two shows that we did, we covered the angels and demons last week, and then we covered the 72 angels this week. And again, all of these, beings are from the Creator. All of these energies, that's the better term for them, is energies are from the Creator. And we are from the Creator as well. So, we are in part with them, but we have free will. The angels and demons do not have free will. So they are literally at our beck and call. And, that's why we've said, even back in the other episode that we did in season 3 on angels, is that we have to call upon them because they don't have the power to intervene or to help on their own. We have to actually give them permission, call upon them, and ask them for help. So, again, but some people might say, well, what about the, satanic blah, 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 blah. Well, again, that's just blah, 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 blah. It's just them whispering in your ear. They can talk to you, but it's up to you if you do what they're influencing you to do. Again, that's completely up to us. Again, we don't have control what happens to us, but we do have control of how we react. And as we learned, whatever energy you are magnetized towards, whatever energy you're searching for or putting feelers out for, that's the energy you're going to get. So if you're a positive person, constantly doing positive, you're attracting positive. And if you're negative, you're attracting negative. So, want to make a change? If your life is just, you know, change that mindset from negative to positive. How do you do that? We've covered that in other shows, but if you need help, I'm a certified life coach and I can help you with that as well as a spiritual guide. So that's completely up to you, or you can research it and do it yourself. It can be done, but it takes diligence, discipline, and consistency. It's not that you can just sit down and read for 20 minutes and snap your fingers and it's done. It didn't happen to you overnight. Being a sourpuss didn't happen to you overnight. It took time. So it's going to take time, patience, discipline, and consistency and work to overcome that. And I know that's not the answer anyone wants to hear. We want a quick fix. That's our Western ways. Is we want the quickest way that requires the least effort. And unfortunately, when it comes to our spirituality in our lives, it takes work. And you know what? You're worth it. You're worth the effort. You're worth the work. Life is too short to spend being a sourpuss and a doom and gloom and beating yourself up and being self-abusive and self-hateful and just hateful. It's a waste, an absolute waste of this lifetime. So let's not do that. Let's try to turn things around. And I know we all have the sourpuss to varying degrees. I mean, that's human, right? Again, that's part of the yin and the yang. There's the equilibrium, but we've got to find that middle way, that middle path, that equilibrium between the two, that balance. And we can do that. And I hope and pray that you get that through this show. But again, if not, reach out to me. We'll see what we can do about helping you. But again, only contact me if you're serious, because I've had people contact me that wanted help, but didn't want to put the work in. They thought it was something that would be a quick fix, an injection, a pill, a zap, something that read a paragraph and it would be wave a magic wand and all done. And that's just not how it works, folks. So I hope and pray with all that is that these last two shows have been beneficial to you, that you found them, if anything, at least interesting, because I'm sure there's a lot of information there that you didn't know. I didn't even know until I took the course. So it's always awesome to learn these things and something you can just throw in your toolbox. And if you use it, you don't. If you use it, great. If you don't, that's great too. But again, you never know when you're going to run into someone that may be able to use those tools, and you've got them. Even though you're not using them, you can pass them on to somebody else. And speaking of, why not pass this show, this podcast, pass it on to someone else. Share it with as many people as you possibly can, because we don't have sponsors. So the only way this show gets out to others is through word of mouth, through reviews and ratings on whatever platform you're listening. So be sure to do that. Share the show, like the show, rate the show, review the show, and do all that we can to get this show out to others. If it's helped you, please do that. And if it's really helped you, please consider making a contribution to the show. And I'll have information coming up on exactly how to do that. This week's prayer requests and updates are as follows. I was contacted this week by a sister listener, and infinite thanks, blessings, and love to Denise for reaching out to me through the website for Faith and More podcast. Information on that is coming up if you would like to contact me. And she is asking for our prayers. She has a lot of things going on in her life, physically, emotionally, and mentally, and she's asking for us to pray for her to have the strength to keep fighting and not lose the will to live. So please, please, please add Denise to your heart, thoughts, and prayers. And Denise, we are all here for a reason. And even though we don't know what that reason is, know that it is a very valid, sacred, and holy reason, and that we're not ready to go and move on until our task is completed. And believe me, you'll know, your soul will know when that task has been completed. And I can guarantee yours has not been completed yet. If not, if anything, it hasn't even started yet. It probably starts now with you waking up to how precious and valuable your life is. And I know everyone, that's easier said than done when you are in the hurricane, the tsunami, the typhoon, the tornado, whatever you want to call it. That is life. But believe you me, there are brighter and better days ahead. So, Denise, you stay strong. We will definitely, definitely pray for you. No new updates on Nicholas. He has had several heart transplants and issues with rejection. Last I had seen, he is home and holding his own, so that's definitely good. Haley, who is going to be passing from terminal ovarian cancer, felt good enough to get out this week. And although she was in a motorized wheelchair, she went out with her husband, Taylor, and her 4-year-old son, Weston, to go to a local farm in their area to pick strawberries. So she's doing the best she can with every moment that she has. And believe you me, she is very, very aware of each and every second and how it is in this lifetime. Next is Maudie, who had a heart transplant 2 months ago. Maudie is doing all right as far as her health goes. She's still really weak and dealing with different various health issues. And then on top of things, her grandfather passed away from congestive heart failure this past week. He had it, but thought he was doing good, and then developed pneumonia, and that did him in. And I can tell you, folks, congestive heart failure is nothing to mess around with, and it's something that I had, and I guess still have as far as heart failure goes, but I'm not on the congestive part anymore. Next is Stephanie, who is still ongoing with financial issues in the wake of her husband Ray's passing. Sarah and Kia, who are Stephanie's children. Well, Sarah is Stephanie's child, and Kia is Sarah's child and Stephanie's grandchild. Sarah and Kia are both substance addiction recoverers and in recovery, and they're both doing amazing in the programs that they are in and doing their best to help others. So please keep them in your heart, thoughts, and prayers. Next is Elaine. Bob Clyde has been moved from the hospital. He had open heart surgery a little bit over a week ago. He has been moved to an acute care center to help him rehabilitate. The bypass surgery went well, or the bypass grafting went well. However, he's having a hard time recovering, and I can certainly relate to that, having been there myself. It'll be 3 years, June 30th of this year. So please keep him, his daughter Lisa, and son CJ in your heart, thoughts, and prayers. Lana is having issues again with her foot. Fortunately, she is staying with her daughter Megan right now. And Lana, Megan, Molly, and Gwen. Molly and Gwen are Megan's children, so they're Lana's grandchildren. They just recently lost, a dear one in their family, Brianna, tragically, and they had a memorial service for her last week. So please keep them in your heart, thoughts, and prayers. Next is Octavia. Also Trish, Chad, and their family. Brother Ashley and his family. Brother Abel. Mike S. and Kelly. I received an update from Mike S. this week saying he and Kelly, or excuse me, yeah, Kelly and he. There we go. Learn your English, boy. Kelly and he are doing well. And he was cleaning house when I accidentally dialed him on the phone, but he texted me right back and said that, he was cleaning house, vacuuming, and doing his best to get his ejection fraction numbers up. So bless him. We will keep praying for Mike S. and Kelly. Also, Michael, my birth brother, he is still dealing with shingles, and they're on his head, and it's just very uncomfortable. He is a contractor slash construction worker, so he's constantly outside in the elements. So that heat and sweat and stuff is not at all good for anybody suffering from shingles. Also, keep in mind in prayers my sister Tanya, also Cheryl, Elijah, his grandmother Janet, husband Andrew, Father Mike, still has health issues, and please, please, please keep those prayers going for Father Mike and his husband Eddie. Also, Eddie's mother Becky, who underwent a triple bypass and valve repair a few weeks ago. Also, please keep in your heart, thoughts, and prayers Emma, Jean, Kathy, Tony, also Michael T, Kyra, Courtney Moore. I have an update on Courtney. She is the one that has a complex congenital, heart defect, and she is now at Duke Hospital in North Carolina, and they are working on helping her get everything situated as far as her numbers and vitals and everything, so they can get her on a heart transplant list. So please keep those prayers going for Courtney Moore. Also, James and Linda, I mentioned last week. James was recently diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and he has several other health issues, and Linda is his wife. And last but certainly not least is a wonderful human being, sister of the universe that the universe, reintroduced me to, because I believe we all know each other. We are all brothers and sisters from the same source, from the same universe, from the same father, mother, whatever you want to label that which cannot be labeled. And her name is Terry. Now, Terry is a young woman, 38 years old, who suffers from extreme depression. She's currently homeless. And when I met her, she had just been discharged from the hospital for having a psychiatric evaluation. She was very depressed and was contemplating suicide. So I was able to share a few moments with her, and I'm not going to go into detail about that. But if we could, please, 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 please keep Terry. It's Terry, Terri. Keep Terry in our heart, thoughts, and prayers that her life changes for the better quickly, and that she finds a place that she can live, call home. And we all take these things for granted. And when you meet someone like Terry, it really is a checks and balances for you, or at least it should be. How precious life is and how blessed you are. No matter what you're going through, you are blessed, and there is always, always someone who is going through worse on all levels, and poor Terry is. So let us please keep Terry in our heart, thoughts, and prayers. So if we could please, please, please keep all of these wonderful and amazing beings, brothers and sisters, from the same Heavenly Father and Mother, in our heart, thoughts, and prayers, that'd be greatly appreciated. And if you are in need of prayers, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. My contact information is coming up here soon at the end of the show, and is at the end of every show. I am here for you all in any way that I can possibly be here, especially prayers. It costs absolutely nothing. They're free, and they are beyond powerful. Never underestimate the power of prayer. So this week's blessing and benediction. I found a really good one by Rabbi Naomi Levy from a book called Talking to God, Personal Prayers for Times of Joy, Sadness, Struggle, and Celebration. And I will see if I can locate this book and put a link to it in the show description in case anybody would like to purchase a copy of it. They are not sponsoring the show at all. It's just I found this and really, really and love this prayer. And it is a prayer of healing that I feel will really, really, really benefit everyone, regardless of your need and the level of healing that you need. So let us pray. In nomine Divi, Filii, Spiritus Sancti. Be with me, Adonai. I feel so lost. I can't seem to escape the dark cloud that is hanging over me today. Help me, Adonai. Give me strength to combat despair and fear. Show me how to put my pain into perspective. Teach me to have faith in the new day that is coming. Thank you, Adonai, for today's blessings, for tomorrow's hope, and your abiding love. Teach me always to believe in my power to return to life, to hope, and to you, Adonai. No matter what pains I have endured, no matter how far I have strayed from you, give me the strength to resurrect my weary spirit. Revive me, Adonai, so I can embrace life once more in joy and passion and peace. When I feel tainted, Adonai, remind me that I am holy. When I feel weak, teach me that I am strong. When I am shattered, assure me that I can heal. When I am weary, renew my spirit. When I am lost, show me that you are near. May Adonai heal you, body and soul. May your pain cease. May your strength increase. May your fears be released. May blessings, love, and joy surround you. Amen. I so hope and pray that you've enjoyed the show and that you found everything that you're searching for here and more with us. Please feel free to stop by anytime, all the time. You are family. If this show has helped you, please, please, please share it with as many people as possible. Also, subscribe, rate, and review the show on whatever format you listen to. That helps move the show up in those formats, so when someone does a general search, they're more likely to find the show. And if the show has really helped you and you have the means, please consider making an offering. Offerings are a great way to help sustain and improve the show, as well as the Faith and More ministry. Offerings can be made through the Cash App. The show's cash tag is $Faith and More, or you can find us at cash.app/$Faith and More. And don't forget about our YouTube channel. It's a fun place, folks. You can watch videos of weekly Ask Angel questions where people write me and ask me questions and I respond on YouTube. You can also watch me do bi-weekly sermons and homilies. Also, audio of our shows are uploaded to YouTube where you can listen, and much, much more. Just go to youtube.com/@Faith and More podcast. Next is prayers. I love to pray, and our Faith and More family love to pray. So let us pray for you. There are two ways to do this. The first is to email me directly at faithandmorepodcast@gmail.com. The second way is through our website. There is a form at the bottom of the website, and the website address is faithandmorepodcast.wix-site.com/my-site. And there are always links to all of these things in the show notes for and description for each show. So until next time, have a blessed week and know that each and every one of you are in my heart and in my prayers. bless you.